Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving into a pretty wild idea today. The idea that the people you surround yourself with can literally change your luck, for better or for worse.
Okay, so let's just start with this quote from our source material, because it's a real gut punch. You can die from someone else's misery. Think about that. The idea here is that moods and emotions, they're not just feelings, they're contagious. And trying to help someone might just mean you're catching what they have.
So, to really get what we're talking about, we need a story. And oh boy, do we have one. Let's dive into the life of a woman named Lola Montez. She's kind of the perfect, and I mean perfect, cautionary tale for this whole idea.
So first thing you need to know about Lola Montez. She wasn't Lola Montez, and she definitely wasn't Spanish. Nope. Her real name was Marie Gilbert, and she was from Ireland. But she was a master of reinvention. She gets to Paris, creates this whole new identity as a Spanish dancer, and immediately sets her sights on the one guy who could put her on the map, Alexandre Dujarier, a super influential newspaper owner.
And she was smart about it. This wasn't some random meeting. She knew he went riding every single morning. And guess what? She was a fantastic rider herself. So she basically stages this chance encounter, and it works like a charm. He's totally captivated, and next thing you know, just weeks later, she's living with him.
And this is where the infection really starts to take hold. I mean, before Lola Dujarier was a rising star in Paris. He had everything going for him, but as soon as she enters his life, things start to go downhill, and fast. His business starts failing. His friends start avoiding him. It's like he was pulled into this vortex of her chaos.
And the endgame? It was just tragic and swift. They have a fight, he gets drunk, gets into it with some powerful critic over a stupid comment about Lola, and gets challenged to a duel. The thing is, he was no swordsman. He was killed. Just like that. His connection to her instability, literally cost him his life.
So what happened here wasn't just a sad love story. It's a textbook example of what our source calls the law of infection. Let's really dig into what that means.
Okay, so think of it this way. You know how you can catch a cold from someone? The idea here is that you can catch their misery, their moods, their way of thinking, their bad habits. All of it can seep into your own psyche, usually without you even noticing it's happening.
And at the heart of this whole thing is a specific character type, the infector. Now, we're not just talking about someone having a bad week, okay? This is someone with a deep, kind of permanent instability inside them, and they can't help it. They just radiate that chaos outward, pulling disaster towards themselves and, well, anyone who gets too close.
All right, so how do you spot an infector? Well, there are some pretty clear warning signs. Look at their past. Is it just a long trail of drama and broken relationships? Do they always play the victim? Often they have this really intense, magnetic personality that just sweeps you off your feet. But that's the trap, right? That intensity is what clouds your judgment.
And speaking of patterns, let's go back to Lola. Because what happened to Dujarier, that wasn't a one-off thing. Oh no, it was just the first domino to fall.
Just look at this timeline. The pattern is, it's brutal. It's undeniable. In less than a decade, every single important man in her life ends up ruined, disgraced, or dead. She is the one common thread through all of these catastrophes.
And her time in Bavaria is just wild. She completely bewitches King Ludwig. But her behavior is so outrageous, we're talking inciting riots, getting into brawls, that it leads to a full-blown revolution. The people rise up, and the king is forced to give up his throne. Think about that. Her personal instability infected an entire kingdom.
And the destruction just keeps going. In England, she marries this young army officer, George Heald. Turns out, she was still married to someone else. He gets arrested for bigamy because of her, his career is destroyed, and he dies broke not long after she bolts. It's just a relentless path of ruin.
Okay, so the danger is pretty clear, right? This infectious misery is a powerful destructive force. So the big question is, what do you do about it? What's the antidote? The answer, according to our source, is simple and kind of brutal. Quarantine. That's it. You don't argue, you don't try to help them, you don't try to fix them, you just flee. The only way to protect yourself is to get away, period.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This whole law of infection, it's not just about the bad stuff. It works in reverse too. If you can catch someone's misery, guess what? You can also catch their joy, their success, their good energy.
So you've basically got two paths you can take.
You can hang around the unlucky, the people who just suck the life out of you and make your own flaws even worse. Or you can actively choose to spend your time with the fortunate, the people who attract good things, who lift you up, and whose good vibes can literally rub off on you.
And there's a great example of this in action, Napoleon. The guy was a military genius, no doubt. But he was also kind of rough around the edges. He knew it too. He really admired his minister Talleyrand, who was super charming and witty. So what did Napoleon do? He kept Talleyrand by his side, on purpose, hoping some of that class would rub off on him. And you know what? It worked. So this gives us a really powerful, actionable strategy for life. Step 1. Figure out your own weak spots. Are you kind of gloomy, a little cheap? Okay. Step 2. Whatever you do, don't hang out with other gloomy, cheap people. They'll just make it worse. Instead, go find the opposite. Seek out the cheerful, the generous. Let their qualities infect you for a change. And look, this isn't some new age idea. People have been talking about this for centuries. Way back in the 1600s, the philosopher Balthasar Gracian basically said the same thing. You got to learn to spot the lucky and the unlucky so you can choose your friends wisely.
So that really leaves us with one last question to ask ourselves, a really important one. Look around at your own life. Who in your circle is an anchor, just weighing you down? And who's a sail, catching the wind and helping you move forward? Because when you think about it, that choice might just be one of the most important decisions you ever make.